Okay. Before we begin, I would like to recall the last day lesson. So what we have learned is about the wonders of the living world. We learn characteristics, also we learn about the ecosystems, and we also learn about how this living world or how our habitat planet Earth can be divided. So there are three groups, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere. So basically, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere are the three things, and the biosphere is basically distributed among those layers. Again, atmosphere, air layer එක, lithosphere, භූමිය සහ hydrosphere, වතුර තියෙන මුහුදු, ජලාශ ඔය වගේ ඒවා එකතු වෙලා තමයි හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ ජෛව ගෝලය කියන එක, biosphere කියන එක. Right? Okay. Then we just learn about the ecosystems, different ecosystems. Some were man-made, some are man-made, and some are natural, right? Some are it depends on the type of animal living in the particular habitat of the particular area, particular ecosystem. It's adapted according to their needs, and sometimes, like if it is man-made, so human beings are highly influential animals in the planet, so they are really changing the environment according to the way they like. You can see this is a man-made environment, and these are man-made environment, but still you can call them ecosystems. Okay, then we learn about the characteristics of organisms, especially characteristics like growth, where the initially, so with maybe when they born, plants, animals, even these invisible animals, all are having some form, but after some time, after some living period, they are changing in size. So basically that can be height, that can be weight or width, or maybe some other physical property related to the size, that is growth, and those are physically visible changes, and that is one characteristic. And so then we learn about the locomotion, moving from one location to another location. That is another important characteristic of human beings. And also reproduction, so they can build another generation similar to them. That is also a really amazing feature related to these living beings. They can produce their own. That is amazing, no? Because lions, they can spread themselves by bringing children. So those are also lions. So do other animals. All the animals do them. Not only the animals, the plants and microorganisms, which are invisible, are doing the same. Okay, let's move. Let's see this video. After that, I will explain. This is actually related to a plant. Normally plants are also growing, but it is not it is not fast and it is not really visible. But here in this video, they have used a technology called time lapse. You can also do this, right? If you want, you can also do this. Nowadays in mobile phone, this feature is available. If not, you have to set up a camera and put it mount it to a tripod. Make it fixed and keep it in a location without changing the focus and without changing the angle, right? Then if you take pictures, okay, let's see something like this. So in order to, this is this is kidney beans, or you can take anything, right? In order to draw, if it will take let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks means 14 days. So in one day you can see 24 hours are there. So let's take 10 days. 10 days, 240 hours. 240 hours. And So, okay, let's consider about the 10 days growth, 240 hours growth. So what if you can take a picture every hour, right? What if you can take a picture every hour for 10 days? How many pictures will be there in total after 10 days? Each hour you are taking picture. After 10 days, how many pictures will be there with you? Yes? So understand the question again. Each hour හැම පැයකටම එක පින්තූරයක් ගන්නවා නම් දවස් 10කට පස්සේ පින්තූර කීයක් අපි ළඟ තියෙනවද? After 10 days, how many pictures are with us? Every hour you are taking picture. Yes? Yes, Ashini? Yes, Puti? Every hour? Yes, I cannot hear you. Can you speak?
150.
150 there. Every hour you are taking means per day you will take 24 pictures. Ne? Per day 24 pictures. Ne? නේද? දවසකට පැය 24ක් තියෙනවනේ නේද? එතකොට පැයකට එක ගණන් ගත්තොත් පැය 24 පික්චර්ස් කීයද? හා? ඔව් පැය 24 පික්චර්ස් 24ක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඒ වගේ දවස් 10කට පික්චර්ස් කීයක් ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? 10 days? yes පුතේ. per day එක දවසකට 24යි නම් දවස් 10කට කීයක් පුළුවන්ද? කමාරුයිද? නැද්ද? එක දවසකට 24යි. නම් දවස් 10කට පික්චර්ස් කීයක් පුළුවන්ද ඇෂිනි?
240.
240 නේද ආයතනේ? 240 පුළුවන්. There will be 240. එතකොට මේ videos, when you are creating videos, you are playing the pictures, right? When you are creating the videos, actually you are playing, you can see this is one picture. And after I stop, play again, this is another picture. Likewise, we can play all the pictures in a synchronized order. පිළිවෙලට ඔක්කොම පින්තූර ටික play කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට වීඩියෝ එකක් වගේ පේන්නේ. There are 240 pictures නේ. Okay, let's say we are going to play 24 pictures per second. 24 pictures per second. තප්පරයකට පින්තූර 24ක් පෙන්නනවා. Now, right, if we can show 24 pictures per second, how many seconds we can show these pictures? How many seconds needed to show this? දැන් ඔක්කොම පින්තූර 240ක් තියෙනවා. The total pictures 240. Per second we can show 24 pictures.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. That is a 10-second video. Understood? That is how you are going to create a 10-second video. එතකොට අර දවස් 10 ඔයාලට තප්පර 10න් බලන්න පුළුවන් නේ. That 10 days you can watch using 10 seconds. මේත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ එහෙම තමයි. But this has more frequency. They have taken more pictures, not just 24 pictures. See here, day 1. Day 1. Let me play. Day 2. දැක්කද? Within second it goes to the day 2. එතකොට තප්පරයකට 24ක් විතර අරගෙන day 2 එකට යනවා. Next second. Next second. Day 3. So how many pictures they have taken? You can see නේ. අර පණුවෙක් වගේ දැන් දැක්ක මෙයාට හැදෙනවා පේනවද? It's like a worm. But it's the root. It's the root of this. It's the root. These are the roots. Okay. Did you see how many, like, its plant is also growing, but only thing is you cannot see it like human beings, but if you can use a camera, then you can observe that, you can play that as a video because it's growing even faster than us, right? But our growth, it's a little difficult to capture like this, but plant growth you can capture. Okay, this is another thing, another video that I just took from the internet. See here. Okay, so what you saw recently is the process, it's called germination. Right, when you put a seed, so that name is very important. That process is called germination. You can also test this. Make a test karanna. You have to take a seed. Maybe you can take, you can even take onion, but that is not really good example for this germination one. But still, onion plant can be formed using this onions. And also, you can try with kidney bean. Kidney beans means like you can see that red color one. Red color එක දැකලා තියෙනවනේ රතු පාට kidneys වගේ තියෙන අර bean එක. Kidney beans you can use, or you can use tomato. Right, you can use tomato. Tomato is very easy. Tomato you can use in tomato, and you can just use a yogurt cup. But to see the root system, my recommendation is use a glass container. Then you can see the root system also. වීදුරු භාජනයකට දැම්මු නැත්නම් වීදුරුවකට දැම්මත් කමක් නැහැ. වීදුරුවකට අම්මගෙන් ඉල්ල ගන්න ඉතින් වැණුම් ගහ ගන්න නැතුව නැත්නම් ගෙදර තියෙන වීදුරු ටිකට පස්කුර වල වැණුම් ගහ ගන්න වෙනවනේ නේද? එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැතුව අම්මට කියලා ඉල්ල ගන්න ග්ලාස් එකක්. ඒතර root system එක බලන්නත් පුළුවන්. But remember පුතේ, you have to protect that from the insects. Because what will happen otherwise? So if you keep this for germination, so when germination happens, inside that, so there is a storage of food, no? Inside the seed, what is there? It's a storage of food, right? Which is necessary to grow. There's a storage of food. So what will happen when you put water into it? That will, right? That will be converted to glucose also. Therefore, these ants and all, they really like, that's a meal for us. They will think you have given a free meal, right? Then what will happen? They all get together and try to eat the seed. Then what will happen? You are expecting germination, but you can see an ant colony, right? So you have to closely monitor that, whether the seeds are properly germinating. Okay, let me play this quickly. Okay, Pute. So just have an idea, but this part is not available in your book, right? Because like you don't need to remember the parts of these, what is this and all, the cartilage and all. Yes, Pute?
Sir, I have that part in book.
Ah. Oh, yes.
Photosynthesis.
Yes, I can. But not in the first chapter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not in the first chapter. Yeah, in this chapter, so it's different one, no? In this chapter, so we are going to learn about, not going to learn about the germination process and the photosynthesis, but in later chapters, yes, we will learn that, right? That is true, right? Okay. So in that part, you have all these things, right? Embryo and how it forms, and what is cotyledons, how it provide like you can see when water is there, right? The cotyledons, it will produce, like it is the food source, right? It is the food source of the embryo, the baby plant, right? Okay. So I'll share this presentation with you after the lesson, not now, but after the lesson I can share you this. Okay. Then, so what are the characteristics? This you need to write down. Characteristics of, yes, characteristics of living beings. Here I have missed to write characteristics of organisms or the living things. Okay. So one thing is Growth and development. Please write down. The first thing is growth and development. We all are drawing. Plants are drawing. We are drawing. Animals are drawing. Insects are drawing. We all are drawing. The second thing is nutrition. Right? What is nutrition? This is what your mother always worrying about. When you have not taken your lunch, breakfast, when your lunch box is not empty, they are worrying. Why? The nutrition, that's a problem. Without nutrition, what will happen? Your brain will not grow well. You cannot develop yourself very well. So it's really needed. That is why you have to eat some food even though you don't like. You have to eat some leaves. Neither. Most of children, they don't like to eat leaves. Why? It's not tasty. But for nutrition, we need it. Right? We need it. Then reproduction. Reproduction is that is like a photocopying thing, right? Your mother has taken a photocopy of herself. That is you, right? That is you. Is it? Are you looking like your mother? Or you're looking like your father? So what do you think? You looks like your father or mother? None of these. Cannot be. Oh, none of these. That's let's see when you grow up. Let's see, right? Okay. So anyway, reproduction means what? Reproduction means the animals world, animal or these living things world. There is a natural photocopying mechanism. In our like man-made world, there is a way of taking photocopies. It's instant. You can go and take a photocopy. But in the natural world, it's not possible because there is a big process, right? So becoming a mother, bring child to the world, take care of the child. Likewise, there is a natural set of processes. Followed by that, a new born, new baby will come to the society, new baby will come to the world. So that is common to us, that is common to animal and plants as well as these invisible or very tiny microorganisms. Reproduction, that is really necessary. Organizing. Organizing means they can interact with each other, right? Unlike the objects. Objects here are here and there, they cannot interact naturally. But the thing is, right? But the thing is, these animals, they can communicate. They can communicate and interact. By doing that, they will organize into colonies, into groups, right? They will organize and do things. And the next thing is evolution. Okay, write down that first, then I will explain.
Sir,
Yes, Pute.
sir, where is sir, do you know the census?
Is it sea anemone?
No, that's here.
Polyp, coral polyps.
Yes.
Yeah, it's inside the ocean. The other one is sea anemone, I think, right? Is it? Yes.
Yes.
I didn't. Yeah. Right. Okay. Then, okay, we have discussed up here organizing evolution. Evolution is basically that is like recently also I saw some articles in social media about this evolution. Evolution means like initially we believe that so we are not like we have not come directly to the planet Earth. We have evolved like our ancestors, grandfathers of grandfathers of grandfathers. So they are, we believe that they are kind of gorillas and monkeys, right? So nice, like so and so there's not just that. So we, if we just think about human evolution, there is a big tree. See here. So this is what people are thinking. We don't know still this is correct or wrong, but this is what people are thinking. Human evolution. Okay. So actually we had Homo neanderthals, so different versions, and so even before that, right? Even before that, you can see here. So these are our ancestors, right? These are our ancestors, and the last one is like you and me, in front of a computer, right? You can see, so in front of a computer. So it's not actually the thing. So let me show that there's a big tree, actually giant tree, and here you can see from single cell to uh, from single cell to this level, we believe that we have like evolved from a fish, right? And so is there a clear one? Okay, right. See here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Still loading. This one is not really clear to you. So let's try with some other ones. This is not the tree. They show in the recent branches. I just want to see from the ancient era. Okay, I'll show you that, but here still I cannot find a better image, right? But I'll show you. Like it's like we believe that it has started from a single cell, then come to living beings in the ocean in like millions of years ago. From these living beings, so then they have come to the surface lithosphere, and after that in the lithosphere the life was began in the lithosphere, and after that so there is like a big, a giant, this is like millions of years ago, not hundred or thousands, millions of years ago. But in this one is like it's also like closer to 1 million, but here this one is much closer. So this has a lot of evidences, but like when you go back, you can come up to these levels, because this you can see the skull, and there are much similarities. So especially much similarities in the skull, and therefore we can relate them anyway. And this is a long process, right? This is not 1 year, 2 year process. This is not even 100-year process, because if you look at your grandmother or grandfather, still you cannot find something like this, correct? So because that is not your ancestors. So basically your grandmother or grandfather, still they look like you. And even like maybe 200, 300 years ago, your ancestors. So if you like, unfortunately you don't have any pictures of them, but if you find, or if you ask from your grandmother's grandmother how they looks like, still you cannot find something like this, because this is also several thousand years ago. Evolution means we are changing time to time, we are adapting and changing according to the environment. Right? Adaptation. That is also one important. Adaptation means we usually, there are different climate situations, and even this COVID, like that has affected lives of many people. Many people died, and many people died. But finally, those who were like okay, adaptation, like after the COVID, post-COVID generation that we see, so they have somewhat adapted to the COVID situation, so they can anyway face. But those who cannot face, so they are gone. So this is very simple example, recent example, right? This is very recent example. Then extinctability and coordination, and that is also very important fact. Excitability and coordination, they can communicate with each other, and they can basically divide their work and maybe collaboratively do their works. Metabolism, right? Respiration, metabolism and respiration are also, that is there are systems. There are systems. Respiration, we have respiratory systems with our nose, lungs, and for metabolism, there's a system. There are organs adapted to that. And the movement or the locomotion, these are the characteristics. We will discuss this each by one in the next few lessons. Okay. Then, so this activity we have done last day. So in your room, you can like find these things, buildings, they're not buildings, but desk, computer, books, pencil, clock. These things are non-living. But if you can see plants, animals, microorganisms, humans, these are living things. So we have already categorized this non-living, living things. And so I was telling about these microorganisms, but I didn't explain this before. Today, let's try to see what they are. Have you seen these microorganisms? Have you ever seen? No. In the book, yes. But have you really seen them? No. Okay, I will give you a small tool, Pute. You can just, so this is not like, this is kind of a toy, but it is not actually a toy. You can do something with this, because I also, because I thought that this will not work. But I just wanted to test. Therefore, I also bought one. But it is working actually. That's why I'm suggesting this to you. This is, you can get this from Dara's shopping, like, so that is, so you can buy this. This is not very costly, but this will be really useful for your studies in future even. In future even for your studies, this will be very useful. That is this microscope. Actually, there is a one with LED bulb, and that will work. That will work, and you can do something with this. Do not buy these things because these are expensive, but you can go for this toy kind of thing. But still, it is possible to look at microorganisms, not this, because hand lens can zoom. Hand lens is also important. So if you can buy one, that is also better. You need hand lens too. But so hand lens, and this one, the microscope one, not even this. I think they have increased the prices. Earlier days, it was only, okay, this one is, you can see, this one works, right? So earlier days, it was only 2,500 rupees, but because of the inflation, it has gone up. කලින් නම් එක රුපියල් 2500 3000ට තිබ්බේ. හැබැයි මේක ඇති පුතේ. මේකෙන් ඔය වැඩේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. This is a microscope. You can use that. Actually, this is called light microscope, right? Light microscope. But actual light microscope is something like this. That is in your science lab. Light compound microscope. So when you go to your school, you can see this light compound microscope. This is very expensive. It's around 100,000, 200,000 rupees. So very, very expensive, right? So this is like, this will support, this will like let you watch from both eyes. But here this will only one eye, but this will be really expensive, right? This will be really expensive if you're buying this. But this one is a very good alternative. This is plastic, but still it will work. That is the best thing. Still it will work. And this is like a toy, but you can still watch microorganisms. Right here, these are cells. And even not just the cells, you can watch bacteria. You can watch fungi using this. Right? So therefore, so microorganisms means the organisms which we cannot see using our naked eye. We need a device. That device is basically microscope. Where these microorganisms are living? Any idea? Where these microorganisms are living?
In our body?
In our body. Oh, is it? Yes, there are millions of microorganisms in our body. Right? Are they bad? Yes. Are they bad?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Is there good microorganisms? Yes or no? Yes, there are good microorganisms. Actually, some microorganisms are there. They are really helping us. Without these microorganisms, if you try to kill all the microorganisms inside our body, sometimes it will severely damage our body too. Because without these microorganisms, so our body functions will also be damaged. It will not happen because in our stomach and in our this so after the stomach there are like some other components also, no? So there are microorganisms living permanently in those organs. But these microorganisms help you digest some food and absorb nutrition. Without them, you cannot do it alone. They are inside our body, they are living. That means we think ourselves as a one man or one woman. But are we? No, we are just set of animals. Right? Not just so for an example, Sanit is not a one person. Eshin is not a one person. So there are millions inside Eshin. Now Eshin and these millions of the microorganisms are learning this lesson. Right? Because it's not one. It's not one. Right? There are bacteria living inside us. There are viruses sometimes. Viruses are a bit dangerous because they can damage, they can use our body to reproduce them. They're damaging our body sometimes because of the influenza viruses and coronavirus. Most of the viruses are bad. But there are some deactivated viruses given as vaccines. Right? Sometimes doctors give viruses as vaccines. Why? Because then only our body will learn how to react. They are given deactivated viruses. Right? Then we will build our defense algorithm. Deactivate කරපු virus එක සමහරට injection එකක් විදිහට දෙනවා පුතේ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. පුංචි කාලේ දෙන්නේ අවුරුද්දෙන් අවුරුද්ද එහෙම දෙනවනේ. ඒතර deactivated virus එක දෙනවා. එතකොට තමයි අපේ body එක සමහරට උණ එහෙම හැදෙනවා අපිට. ඒ හේතුව so there are right antibodies. There are antibodies. Antibodies කියලා කියන්නේ මේ virus වලට විරුද්ධව fight කරන. Virus, bacteria ඒවට විරුද්ධව fight කරන්න අපේ system එක පුරුදු වෙනවා. ඒවා දීලා තිබ්බම. එතකොට ඇත්තම එකවම දන්නව කොහොමද fight කරන්න කියලා. බොරු බයි පොඩ්ඩක් සැර අඩු අයත් එක fight කරලා ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් ඇත්තම එක්කෙනාව fight කරන්න දන්නවා. Therefore, some viruses are helpful also. Fungi, even we do eat the mushrooms and all. Mushroom is basically a result of some medicines are also taken from fungi. So fungi is but the thing is, sometimes fungi can damage our skin and our organs. Right? Let's do something next day, not next week, week after the next week. We can do something with the help of these things. With the help of microorganisms, I'll tell that. Have you made yogurt or curd at home? No?
Yes.
Yes. Good. How to do that? Can you remember? Tell me. How you have done that? How have you yogurt?
We have to keep the yogurt in a black dark place.
Dark
Place.
a place. So how you have with you use what this milk or
Fresh milk.
fresh milk? Fresh milk from a shop. Right. Okay. That can also be used. Then you have added
Sugar.
To make it tastier.
Gelatin.
Then
Gelatin.
Gelatin, that to set. Without gelatin also you can do. It's okay. But there's something called agar. You can use that also. Or gelatin is also okay. But without using both also you can create. Then you will need the microorganism. When did you put the microorganism? How you found the microorganism?
Dark place that can do.
No. You need small amount of yogurt. Isn't it?
Yes.
That is where the microorganism reside. So that is where the microorganism reside. You know, based on this microorganism, the taste of yogurt is also changing. Place to place. I have tasted various yogurts from various countries. When I visit some countries, I taste that. Based on this, not just based on the flavors, based on the microorganism also, the taste of the yogurt can be changed. Right? So actually, why we are putting small amount of yogurt to that fresh milk? Because In that yogurt, there is that microorganism. So what will happen? When they found this fresh milk, they really love it. So they think, oh, we have a meal, right? We have a meal. අපිට දන්සලක් හම්බෙලා වගේ තමයි හිතෙන්නේ යාට. We have a free meal. They are enjoying the meal. As a result, what will happen? So it will also become a set and like a kind of semi-solid solution, right? That is yogurt. Curd also can be created similar way, right? Curd also you can create in similar way. Those are usages of microorganisms, right? And here you can see some pictures of them. Actually, when you are looking using a microscope today, mostly you can see this colorless images, but this euglena and the algae and all, you can see the green color too, because they have special properties. They have chlorophyll sometimes. So that is why they are green. But most of the microorganisms like amoebas, Chlamydomonas, Paramecium. So paramecium is like a shoe, and it looks like a shoe. And if so, these are there in like you can just use dirty water, right? Dirty water, and watch using microscope. So in order to create dirty water, you can do small thing. So you can use some grass or leaves and just mix it with water and keep it for few days. Especially you can use the hair infusion. Piduru තියෙන්නේ. ඒවා අරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා චුට්ටක් දාලා තියන්න පුළුවන්. පිදුරු ටිකක් දාලා වතුරට තිබ්බම මේක පල් වෙනවා. පල් වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ ඇත්තට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? These microorganisms will start growing. Right? These microorganisms will start growing, and after maybe 1 or 2 days, you can take sample of this hair infusion. Just take a sample and put a drop into the microscope and watch it. Right? Then you can see a lot of bacteria, a lot of algae, a lot of fungi living there. Right? So that is using this compound light microscope. Compound light microscope. So remember this device. So this is compound microscope, or the better you can tell it, compound light microscope, because it use light. Actually, from this mirror, the light is reflected through this lens. The light is reflected through and sent through this lens. Actually, your sample, you place it here. Your sample, let's use hard, your sample you are placing here. When light travels through the sample, you can see it very clear. But the toy microscope that I have shown, so there is LED, because it's not using the daylight, it's using LED. There's a LED here. This LED will send the light through this slide, and then you can see the slides very well. Okay. Okay, so microorganisms are helpful, but sometimes those are harmful. Not just helpful, sometimes those are harmful. And this is one video that I have taken from the internet again, and you can use. So this video is basically an example how you can create a light microscope at home. But actually you need 2 lenses. That is the difficult part here. How can we find the lenses? But if you can find the lenses, it is easy. You can create your own light microscope at home. So let's see the video very quickly. So he's watching and you can see the preview there. Plastic pipe is used. Then you can see the lens. This is objective lens. It is attached. That is the difficult part. How can we find the objective lens? Then this is just to support that. He's fixing that to the board. Then you need to take another pipe and smaller lens. That is called eyepiece lens. Right? That is smaller lens. And you see the cardboard, he has fixed it. Right? Actually, you should be able to move the second pipe into the first pipe, right? But you can, like, if it is loose, you can do something. You can use a tape to make. Okay. Now you can control the movement. Okay, now you have done the setup. Now you need the light source and a place to keep the slide. This is to keep the slide. And you are using LED light. Okay, now everything is done. You can also try this, but you need to find two lenses. That is the difficult part. But there are shops that you can find these lenses. If you can find this, you can build your own microscope and just use a piece of glass to keep the slide. Otherwise, it will fall down. Here he's looking at leaf and the variation of it. See the preview in the side. This is, I think, dirty water, hay infusion you can use. Can he see the microorganisms? It's about, oh, the bacteria. Right? Okay, so that is called DIY projects. DIY means do it yourself. You can create your own devices. That is what a scientist should do. So you should also remember, right? Scientists can do that. You can also do that. So practice it. Right. This, if you can, try to do that. So when I'm telling this to the other classes, they are doing it. So let's see whether, if you really like science, if you really love science, you can also try. Like you made yogurt, you can make a microscope this time. Okay. So you can just see, you can just search in YouTube, DIY microscope, right? DIY microscope. DIY means do it yourself. Do it yourself. Then you can find these kind of videos, and using that, you'll be able to. Okay. Okay, Pute, then let's wind up for today. Next day, I'll be discussing more about the usages of these microorganisms and all. I'll be discussing that next day. Then, good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay, bye.